India's identity as a country has been shaped by thousands of years of migration, assimilation, and cultural synthesis. To call it a land of immigrants is to acknowledge the deep and complex history of peoples who have crossed its borders, settled in its lands, and contributed to the vast mosaic of its civilization. The story of India is not the tale of a singular people or an unbroken lineage, but rather a saga of waves of humanity, each bringing with them new ideas, traditions, and skills that have woven together the vibrant tapestry we see today. The earliest chapters of India's human story begin with the ancient migrations out of Africa, as hunter-gatherer groups traversed the subcontinent tens of thousands of years ago. Over centuries, these early settlers established the foundations of what would become some of the world's oldest civilizations. The Indus Valley Civilization, flourishing around 2500 BCE, stands as a testament to these early societies with their advanced urban planning, trade networks, and unique cultural practices. But the subcontinent was far from static. Around 1500 BCE, the Indo-Aryans arrived from Central Asia, bringing with them new languages, customs, and religious ideas. Their integration with the existing populations gave rise to the Vedic culture, which laid the groundwork for much of classical Indian thought, philosophy, and society. The Dravidians, believed to be among the original inhabitants of the region, continued to thrive in the south, developing rich traditions, languages, and kingdoms that would later play crucial roles in India's history. Yet, the story does not end there. The centuries that followed saw successive waves of newcomers: Persians, Greeks, Scythians, Huns, Kushans, and later Turkic and Mongol tribes. Each group left its imprint, sometimes through conquest, sometimes through peaceful settlement, but more often through a gradual process of assimilation and adaptation. These migrations were not merely invasions. They were cultural exchanges that brought new art forms, technologies, languages, and spiritual perspectives to the Indian subcontinent. Religious diversity, too, became a hallmark of India's evolving society. While Buddhism and Jainism were born on Indian soil, the country also became a haven for religions from distant lands. Zoroastrian refugees fleeing persecution in Persia found sanctuary in Western India, becoming the Parsi community. Jewish groups, such as the Cochin Jews and the Bene Israel, established themselves along the western coast. Christianity arrived with the Apostle Thomas and later through European colonizers, while Islam made its way through both trade and conquest. Over time, Armenians and Tibetans would also find refuge in India, further enriching its pluralistic ethos. This syncretic fabric is what makes India unique. It is a civilization shaped not by exclusion, but by the embrace of difference. Its languages, cuisines, music, and philosophies are the products of countless encounters between diverse peoples. Indian identity, therefore, is not defined by a single ethnicity or lineage, but by the ongoing process of blending, adaptation, and mutual respect. Within this context of diversity and synthesis, the figure of Akbar the Great stands out as a symbol of inclusive governance and visionary leadership. Ruling from 1556 to 1605, Akbar presided over one of the largest and most diverse empires in Indian history, the Mughal Empire. At a time when religious and cultural divisions could easily have torn his realm apart, Akbar chose a different path. Akbar's approach was revolutionary in its time. He understood that the strength of his empire lay in its diversity. Instead of imposing a single faith or culture, he sought to foster a sense of unity among his subjects. He abolished the jizya tax on non-Muslims, appointed Hindus and members of other communities to high positions in his administration, and encouraged dialogue between different religious groups. His court became a center of intellectual exchange, where scholars and theologians of many faiths debated ideas in an atmosphere of mutual respect. Perhaps Akbar's most ambitious experiment was the creation of Din-e-Ilahi, a syncretic faith that sought to blend elements of various religions. While this new religion never gained a large following, it was symbolic of Akbar's commitment to universal tolerance and peace, principles he called Sulh-e-Kul, or peace with all. In an era characterized by religious strife, His vision was remarkably modern, anticipating ideals of secularism and pluralism that would become central to the Indian Republic centuries later. To call Akbar the father of the nation is, of course, a departure from the mainstream historical narrative. Traditionally, this honor is reserved for Mahatma Gandhi, whose leadership in the struggle for independence inspired generations of Indians and shaped the nation's path to freedom. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence and his deep commitment to unity and justice continue to resonate in India's self-image. Yet, the idea of Akbar as a symbolic father of the nation invites us to reflect on the broader question of what constitutes nationhood. Is it the act of founding a modern state? Or is it the vision of unity amid diversity? Akbar's legacy lies not in the creation of a political entity, but in his efforts to build a society where people of different backgrounds could coexist and thrive. His reign represents a high point in India's long tradition of cultural synthesis, a tradition that continues to define the country today. In the end, India's story defies easy categorization. It is neither a nation of one people nor the product of a single moment in history. It is a civilizational state, layered with the memories, customs, and dreams of countless generations. Its strength lies in its ability to absorb and transform, to remain open to new influences while preserving the core values of tolerance and coexistence. Whether we see Akbar as the father of the nation or as one of many visionary leaders who have shaped India, his example reminds us of the enduring importance of inclusion, dialogue, and respect for difference. India's greatness, past and present, is built not on uniformity, but on the celebration of diversity, a lesson as vital today as it was in Akbar's time.